Across America with Jimmy Failla. Sometimes these jobs are so busy, you have to book your friends in order to catch up with them. I have no political interest in talking to this next guest other than just how are you? Good to see you.
What's funny is we were catching up in the 20 seconds prior to becoming on air, I said I got my last swear word out right before we went live.
Well. You timed it. She has no faith in Josh on the dump button on a Monday. Like Tuesday, Wednesday, he's going to hit it. You can curse. It's not going to happen.
Today we're all a little slow.
I know you don't root for the LA. You grew up in the Bay Area. But the Ohtani having a gambling problem is very relatable to me. That kind of brings him to my level. So I don't know what to do. But you've said what you've said.
You can like a player and not have to root for the whole team, man.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, by the way. I like the dog thing.
Yeah, that dog thing's awesome.
I like it better than if it was like for his booze.
Yeah.
BOOS, like female boo, not the
no. I was told that either the wife or the dog goes to the game, but not both, which I think is amazing. Because it's probably like superstitious or something,
Oh.
Yeah, honey, sorry, you were 0 for 3. Now we got to put the dog in.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
And it's true too. It's like, there's probably a lot more questions from the wife than there is from the dog, So maybe some days he just needs he needs more space to concentrate is what I'm saying. Because a human's going to ask more questions in most instances, unless you're eating acid, in which case the dog won't shut up.
Plus, someone has to take the dog back and forth. So like, does the wife bring the dog and then just leave the game? Could you imagine if you literally brought Bixby everywhere? But like if Jenny brought Bixby, but then like had to leave because you were like, nope, Jenny, Bixby's turn today.
You drop him off.
Yeah, you're dropping him off. Bixby's sitting right there. And then the next time I come in, it's Jenny. My vote's on Jenny, by the way. I root for Jenny. I love Bixby, but I'd rather have Jenny here.
Yeah, well, listen, Bixby's a menace to the catering staff. If you put a dog in a luxury suite.
Oh my God, they're earning their paycheck, man.
It's just
keep up
mowing
with him.
down food. Can I tell you the greatest thing Jenny's ever done is that you talk about a selfless sports act, and she's been a part of a lot of them. When I was a cab driver and Lincoln was like 5, someone I met in my cab who we really hit it off with talking sports gave me Met tickets that were like first row, like on top of the on-deck circle for free to take Lincoln, but he only gave me 2. Now, obviously, I was driving a cab 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., so I needed Jenny to get Lincoln to the Met game and then wait in the parking lot to drive us home because that's how we couldn't, do a train thing and all of that because I was coming from the city. So she came to a Met game, met us in the parking lot, handed me the baby like she sold him to me. I mean, he was like 5. And then we went to the Met game because we couldn't get another seat in that section. So what were we going to do, sit her in the upper deck?
Yeah.
You put it. Okay.
There's a lot going on here. Everyone listening, let's all analyze this together. Number 1, Jenny is a saint. We knew that already.
People know
Number
that.
2, in this scenario, you indeed get her the cheap seats because then she can make friends with who's around her, like 100,000,000%. And especially if she's there and she's like, oh, that's my son. No security guard would prevent her from at least during the 7th inning stretch and halftime and all the stuff that happens, like going down there and hanging out with you guys for at least a little bit. And thirdly, I hope to God that the next time after you made it big, that you bought her the most amazing diamond necklace.
She wouldn't wear it.
In blue and orange.
She wouldn't wear it.
Sapphires and rubies for this amazing woman for doing that, man.
Hey, man, dude, she wouldn't wear it. I just robbed the Louvre a week ago. She didn't even want it. Like, Jenny, all these diamonds. I'm going to go back down to Canal. We're talking to Emily Compagno. So you say I should have got her a seat in the upper deck, but I almost felt like that was more demeaning.
Along these lines of the confessional.
Yeah.
This is like before I sort of knew better, but when one of my best friends, who was a guy, got married, my wedding gift to him and his wife was tickets for him and I to go to the home run derby. Because I could only afford 2 tickets.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't bring my partner. We didn't bring his wife. It was literally a wedding gift. And to this day, he's like, oh, best wedding gift ever. And I'm like, now though, with my adult brain, I'm like, gosh, was that terrible? Poor Kate was probably like, what is Emily doing? But you know what? It was awesome. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do the real stuff. Josh, weigh in on this. Okay, so as a cab driver, I wasn't making a lot of money unless someone left drugs in the back of the car and I could fence it in the garage. Different story. Okay, but knowing we're sitting in the front of the front of the front on a cab driver's salary, obviously I'm not getting Jenny a ticket within 2 sections of where I'm sitting. What's the move, Josh?
The move is you go down with the person, you leave Lincoln there in the good seats, and she won't get the front row with you, but you go back upstairs and you bring her down with you and you sit her maybe a couple rows behind you. There's going to be an empty seat somewhere.
Damn.
You have to figure out a way to game the system.
I honestly, Josh, I don't know why it worked out the way it did, because I came in on the 7 train, John Rocker style. Yep. Maybe that's what it was. She didn't want to hear my language about driving on the 7 train.
Just leave the kid in the front row and then go back and
you
get
don't
Jenny.
leave the gun, take the cannoli, leave the kid, take
Wait,
the
counter
mom.
to that though,
All right,
Josh, you guys, we all just went through seeing that couple that was arrested on, what was it, like a Jersey Beach? Was it a Jersey Beach?
Give it to me.
For leaving their sleeping baby there for like an hour while they went on a walk with the other kids.
Well, you make it look like you're going for cotton candy or something real quick. You know?
No, but you're like, what? I mean,
Jenny, if you're listening, I'm sort of sorry. Not completely. I still don't know how this was played. Because honestly, there were probably economics. Like when I was driving a cab for real, though, depending on the week, like I might have been really poor. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember.
Yeah.
And it was probably like $40 I didn't have. I don't know. But I can plead, mercy here by saying that I was poor.
You guys had enough to pay her car parking fee.
Yeah.
And then she sat in the car, man. That means she didn't have access to the bathrooms. At least if she came in, she could have sat in the bar. That's the other thing. She could have sat in the bar on the inside, watched the game from inside. That's hella fun. She could have been leading like the crowd. And
maybe there was a reason. I don't know. We're going to have to ask the next time we all hang out. We'll get to the bottom of this. Can Jenny, if you listen, she ain't listen to this garbage. I'm kidding. God knows where Jenny is right now. So I laughed at all of that. But I think the answer is, when it comes to the World Series, of course, Game 3 is tonight. Yeah. It's on Fox. Hey, girl. Hey. Dodgers are at home. Great place to watch a game. Toronto has a nice dome, too. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's fantastic.
No, I would love to go to Toronto, actually. It's on my... I've been to Vancouver a ton because, when you're from the West Coast, and then I went to school in Seattle, and so I have been to Vancouver and Whistler a ton, the left side. I haven't been as much to the right side.
Oh, okay.
Better known as the East.
Hey, I know. The right side. Like we're staring at a map right now.
I'm like, East is least.
And I've been there.
I don't know.
All right, fair. Well, we are broadcasting on WBEN in Buffalo also. Obviously, we're heard all over California.
What up, Buff?
I'll be in SLO November 28th, San Luis Obispo.
Nice. Hell, I know what SLO is.
Yeah, you know what's up. I'll be in the SLO, and then I'm in Vegas the next night at Durango. Durango's only a 5-month-old casino. It is so nice.
Really?
So nice.
Wait, Durango, Colorado?
No, Durango is the newest casino in Vegas. I will be there Saturday night, November 29th. So I've got this whole thing. You should.
And by open, I just mean like hover around.
We got to work this out.
Be or something.
No. This is.
You're like.
Emily's gonna be there. Bring back the Raiderette outfit. Yeah. Come on, Em. Do a show. We could do like an old school.
I could be a showgirl.
Yeah, like a vaudeville show, and then I'll come out and tell like street jokes, like 2 guys going to a bar. We do the show that way. Bob Hope style.
I love that.
We got to get a vaudeville show going. Can I work on this? Can you allow me to work on this?
Yes, sir.
There is a 0% chance I can get this approved, but I'm going to work on it. And
1%, and that's all we need.
Yeah, if we get to that one, so you're telling me there's a chance.
Hell yeah.
Failla and Compagno on the road in 2026. I'm telling you because I care. All right, don't go anywhere, but watch Emily every day on Outnumbered. Listen to the podcast. She's all over your television. You kind of can't miss her. The sun never sets on the Compagno empire. Although we'll be hanging out after sunset, maybe at a New York Rangers game coming soon.
Yes, I'll bring my rowdiest mouth, man.
That was great. We had a good time heckling.
I learned so much about heckling from there. And I already pride myself on being a #1 heckler.
Yeah, you're solid.
But like, oh my gosh, the Rangers fans, you guys, are hilarious.
Yeah, they're not messing around. And the team isn't good, which makes the heckling more of a focus point of what's going on a sucky team, because the heckles get heard because no one's cheering and drowning them out. So that'll be us.
And it's more good natured, I feel like, because it's like everyone's cracking up versus like being angry.
Yeah, it's not hostile.
It's
it's not hostile. We're just having a night. It's like what we do to each other in the hallways here.
Totally.
If people only heard the level of expletive that gets people pushed into lockers, they had to get rid of the lockers. That many people were getting boarded. Emma, I miss you, pal. We'll do it again soon.
Hell yeah.
The great Emily Compagno. Back in action on the high-flying, death-defying Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla. Stacked deck of a show the rest of the way. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy in the house. Lara Trump is going to be here to talk shutdown and White House renovations. Texas Senate candidate Wesley Hunt on the ballot as well. But batting leadoff, a man many people consider to be the Ricky Henderson of radio guests. A first ballot Hall of Fame radio leadoff hitter, the host of Special Report, the author of a phenomenal new book about Teddy Roosevelt that I am reading right now, The Birth of an American Empire. I have so many questions for Bret Baier is here, and the crowd goes wild. My man. How about that? That's a hell of an
That's
intro.
a hell of an intro.
This is what it is with us, okay?
That's good.
If we don't gussy people up at hello, they're not coming to the show. Okay, if you could just bear with me, the confetti cannons are going to go off, the
Nice.
pyrotechnics should release, and then
I
the
like
doves
the
fly.
setup. I like it.
It's a vibe, right?
Very comfy.
This is what we've done. We've given this the vibe of a little bit more of a relaxed energy.
I
Because
like it.
next door at Club Kilmeade, it's very rock'em sock'em radio.
It is.
This is a different thing. This actually looks like our parents left. We built like a fort out of the living room, and like when you leave, I have to rearrange all these chairs. There's a coffee table out in the hallway right now. It's not good.
Ashtray.
I love that. Let's talk book really quick off the bat, Bret Baier, because from what I'm told, sales hotter than Katie Porter after somebody walks through her shot.
Get out of my shot.
I just want to ask him this question. I'm driving home last night through Times Square. You are on such a big billboard on the corner of like 45th right there, whatever the heck that is.
Yeah, the My Five building.
Right
yes.
there. So I was there in traffic looking at Bret Baier last night, and I got a little fired up because I know we filmed a trailer for this interview 2 days ago on social media, but this is the theatrical release of the interview.
That's fantastic.
And I was excited about this because the thing about Teddy Roosevelt that we didn't get to when we talked the other day is Teddy Roosevelt really had maybe like a national pride, a civic pride that we might be experiencing a rebirth of right now.
Yeah.
And I think in a lot of ways, that was the driving force behind a lot of the things he did. He was a disruptor. That's what I've taken away from the book. You want to know where I'm at in the book so far?
Yeah.
I now know, okay, that he ran the NYPD.
Yeah.
I knew he was a governor, but I had no idea just how much of a disruptor he was in getting as far as he is in the story. Pretty cool.
He stirred things up. He was always a guy that was challenging the establishment. And that's why, sometimes the big wigs, the party bosses, kind of hated the guy because he was causing all kinds of problems as New York State legislator, as New York City police commissioner, as New York governor. He is a guy that challenges the status quo to the point where, as he's New York governor, they understand he's powerful as a forceful politician, and they need to kind of put him in his place and get rid of him. So they think, let's put him as vice president.
They stashed him?
They stashed him. They promoted him up so that he didn't run for president, so that they put him on the ticket. They think, okay, we can control him. That's fine until McKinley is shot in Buffalo, and he becomes president, the youngest at 42.
He was 42 at the time, and it's so funny then because they did the most NYPD thing in the world. In the NYPD, both my brothers were city cops 20 years. My dad did 42, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, and I would have been a cop if it weren't for this thing called a background check. That kind of, kind of threw me off the scent a little bit. I kid. But in the NYPD, if a guy is a problem in Midtown, they'll transfer him to Staten Island just because it's a longer commute.
Right.
And he isn't as much of a headache for the bosses.
Take him out of the mix.
So Teddy Roosevelt got Staten Island
in the vice presidency.
and wound up being the commissioner of police.
Exactly.
It's such a great story.
No, but I mean, it's all true. And it's because of his force of personality. And he was like that in the Oval Office. He was a guy that challenged a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the thing I love is that when you read the book, and I think this is the highest praise anybody can give an author of an autobiography, is you actually feel like you're in the room with the person. It's almost, it's close. I don't want to say it's a seance, like a Ouija board. It's like you're talking to Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
I feel like I can hunt now, which I can't.
I have no clue.
I can't. I mean, I own a couple of leopard print jackets that I've been ordered never to wear again on the air. But I don't know that puts me in TR's class.
Yeah.
Do you have like on a personal level, okay, do you kind of hope he gets the deserved image rehabilitation that he's being denied right now? They tore down his statue, which was ridiculous to me.
Is insane.
Yeah.
The guy is one of the 4 faces on Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
And he can't have a statue in front of the museum that he founded?
That he founded.
That he essentially stocked.
I mean, imagine that. And the movie Night at the Museum. It's Teddy. I mean, it's there. It's
Robin
all there.
Williams.
Robin Williams. So we canceling Robin Williams now?
Is that not ridiculous?
I can't.
That's like another book I wrote about Grant.
Yep.
They tear down Grant's statue. He's the president that fought the most for African Americans. I mean, obviously Lincoln does what Lincoln does, but Grant is the person that actually puts blacks in office and fights the KKK. And yet his statue is torn down.
Gotta go. We're talking to the great Bret Baier. He is the chief political anchor for Fox News, the anchor of Special Report, of course. And the new book is called To Rescue the American Spirit, Teddy Roosevelt and the Birth of a Superpower. Let me give you this, since you brought up the statue thing. In that runaway summer of 2020, when they were currently they started to make controversy of Abe Lincoln monuments in Boston and Frederick Douglass monuments in D.C., there wasn't really an appetite to preserve history. Yeah. So does it seem a little transactional that people are mad we're getting a ballroom?
Yes. Yes. Just a little... By the way, we talked about it in the little preview that you did. Mm-hmm. Teddy Roosevelt built the West Wing. He's one of the presidents that does major renovations at the White House. Mm-hmm. There's about 14 of them that do major renovations. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you. You see that picture, the tight shot of the East Wing and all the stuff, and you think,
yeah.
But to get to a finished product, you got to get there.
Yeah. But
it's construction.
Thank you. And I feel like there's this prisoner of the moment thing happening where everybody's peddling that image as if he just left it that way.
Right. It's going to be that way for the next guy. Like, welcome to your ballroom with like steel girders everywhere.
What I've enjoyed is all of the people who have posted the images of other renovations. And I didn't realize the Truman one was essentially an HGTV show. It was like a Flip This House.
Yeah.
Like they had like gutted that thing.
No, down to the rafters.
Yeah.
From the interior up and down. And nobody then is saying, how dare you touch this historical monument? Listen, it's because it's Trump.
Yep.
And it's because he is sort of like the backyard bug zapper for Democrats. They cannot fly anywhere but into the light. And so it's like no matter what he does. Now, some of the stuff pushes the envelope, and we all know that. Teddy Roosevelt was like that. Yeah. He honestly was. Larger than life.
That's what I wanted to go back to. Would Teddy Roosevelt have a Twitter account? I believe he would.
100%. He'd have a great Instagram.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if he would, though, because not all the animals would be alive. It might get controversial. Actually, the most hate clicks in the history of Instagram.
PETA would be all over him.
Not good. But they are, in a roundabout way, giving him his due. We have that $400 million library that's opening out in Dakota.
Yeah, next July, right before the 250th.
Which is incredible.
And Trump's going to actually be there.
Yeah.
And it's a big, big deal. North Dakota fought to have the presidential library there. The then North Dakota governor, Scott Burgum, is a huge Teddy guy. And he started collecting and helping the library collect all the memorabilia. And now they're going to have this big, big library out there.
It's really cool. We're talking to Bret Baier. The book is called To Rescue the American Spirit, Teddy Roosevelt and the Birth of a Superpower. Wow, you get full screens and everything. Come on, Bret Baier. Let's talk. I mean, it's high society. They don't do that. My book didn't get a full screen on this show. What are we talking about here? And FS, what are we doing here? But I grew up going to Sagamore Hill. I grew up on Long Island.
Yeah.
It's an incredible place. It's one of the first places my parents took me to of historic import. And what's amazing about the book is Teddy Roosevelt in museums reads like a cartoon character. Yeah. You have made him a real person.
That's the cool part.
It is.
The whole process is making them real. I mean, they were men, women. They were people that had ups and downs. There's bad stuff where he loses his wife and his mother on the same day, on Valentine's Day.
1884.
And he loses it and goes out. That's when he finds going out west to find himself. But yeah, it's a real person. I love Sagamore Hill. I think it's caught in exactly that time. And I talked to his great-grandson, Tweed, who said, if I was running around here as a kid, it looked exactly like this.
That's rad. Come on. If you're in the tri-state area, if you're listening on WOR 710, The Voice of New York, a field trip out to Nassau County.
It's really good.
Come on, Oyster Bay Cove. I might even know a cop out there if you get in trouble. I have one of my brothers wound up there. He's retired now. But it's funny because in my family, we had an NYPD cop who's doing like real police work. Then my other brother's making change at a lemonade stand. Cat gets stuck in a tree. He's got to swoop in and save the day. Let me run a few Teddy Roosevelt things by you in the modern era.
Yeah.
Okay. Teddy Roosevelt's border policy. Is it similar to what we see?
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously not as extensive, but he's concerned about our country, and he wants to make sure that we get people in to work, but not the wrong people.
Okay, and he'd certainly be, because he got into office and brokered, I believe, peace between China and Russia, right?
He did.
So he'd have that ambition.
Yep.
All right, cool. Would Teddy Roosevelt want a ballroom? I think he would.
I bet he would.
Right?
He's an entertainer.
Yeah. I think they all want a ballroom, by the way.
100%. The next guy that gets in,
Yeah.
it's not like he's going to turn down the ballroom.
All right, so this is the last question about all of this. Because when I read that he was responsible for reconfiguring the West Wing, or even inventing what we know to be the modern West Wing, I realized part of this is they want to fit the place to their own lifestyle, but is a bigger part of this not the fact that it will survive them in the White House?
Yeah, legacy.
It must be, right?
Legacy and what that looks like, you know, and down the road. And that's a big thing about, I think, what President Trump's thinking about. You know, Democrats look at it, a lot of them, because they're caught in this 2028 thing with him wearing the 2028 hat. They're saying, you know, he wouldn't build a ballroom unless he wanted to stay there. Well, that's not it.
That's my favorite thing of all the canards that get peddled. Okay, the idea that this guy has been overturned or injuncted by appellate court judges in towns I've had to Google. The idea that they're just going to lay down and be like, no, you can rip up the Constitution and do it again in 20. It's just so silly. But I think that's the end result of being a disruptor. I think that would maybe be the legacy of Teddy Roosevelt, as other politicians have come along and really upset the apple cart. You know?
Yeah, I think it's his legacy. And I think the other legacy is really putting America on the world stage.
All right, cool.
And number one as far as being a leader and forceful, and the world paid attention after Teddy Roosevelt.
Amen. I mean, the birth of a superpower. So before Teddy comes along, America is basically playing good-sized clubs. He turns us into an arena band.
100%.
Teddy Roosevelt is the appetite for destruction of presidents. Welcome to the jungle, Bret Baier. Come on, now you got theme music and everything.
Theme music. Where are the cannons?
Buy 10 copies to rescue the American spirit. Teddy Roosevelt and the birth of a superpower. It's required reading or you're dead to me. Bret Baier, the man. Thanks,
Thank
brother.
you, Jimmy.
But joining us now is somebody no one would skip. If you were the teacher, no one's walking out of that class. I should address you because you're about to take over the show, and rightfully so.
Yeah,
We're waiting for it. I mean, once your mic opens up, I'm actually leaving. Tomi Lahren is here, ladies and gentlemen, and the crowd goes absolutely wild. There it is. Great to see you.
Good to be here. I was going to say, do you consider yourself to be a stage mom?
It'd be really funny. I would love to be one. Like,
Yeah,
if he
I think
said
you kind of are.
No. If Lincoln wanted to do this, that's really funny. I would love to be like that Lindsay Lohan dad who gets drunk in the backyard, spends the kids' money.
Yeah, you think?
Pops. I mean, I'd probably have fun for a few weeks, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
He's still wrapping up high school. He hasn't quite made a decision on what he wants to do. The thing he has going for him, right, is like a lot of dads force their kid into something they wish they could have accomplished. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if he wants to be a broadcaster, I don't actually have to do that. You know what I mean? I don't have to do the Uncle Rico thing. I'm here with you. I know Tomi Lahren. It's going all right. But if he I don't know what that other thing is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't wish I accomplished more as a cab driver. I have no other pursuits. Maybe as a gambler. Maybe if I had accomplished more in the casino. But what it is, do I have a stage dad vibe based on the fact that I'm 48 and I am wearing a neon suede jacket?
I think that you fit the part. The Toddlers and Tiaras, that show.
Oh, that's an insult.
When the dads and the moms are sitting back there and they got the little flappers on and they've got the inappropriate outfits for toddlers.
I think it's hilarious. I could take any joke, including that one, but that's closer to an insult. Because I just think those people are so weird. Like, I watched Little Miss Sunshine, and it's fake, but it's still a child beauty pageant. And you're like, oh, this is kind of weird. Is it not?
It was weird, but it was a great movie. I do love that one. That's when movies were still good.
Yeah, amen.
They're trash now.
It ain't pretty. I don't know why, though, Tommy. Like, there's potential out there. Like, all right, listen. Some actors are getting the memo. Like, Jennifer Lawrence doesn't agree with the word you or I say, but at least 2 weeks ago, she at least owned up to the fact that nobody cares anyway. She's like, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to alienate people. Billy Bob Thornton did that this week, too. But then there were some other people. My favorite, in the last 2 weeks, it didn't get enough attention on Fox, is that Harrison Ford, like 10 days ago, spoke out about climate change. And I was like, dude, did you not get the memo that they're not doing that anymore?
Yeah.
that really hasn't been at the top of the list. That's been
while.
deprioritized for at least the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So yes, they're still stuck in that bubble. Wow.
I was funny, right? Tomi Lahren's in studio. We're excited about it because Bill Gates had just given a speech about, all right, guys, fine, climate change is not going to kill everybody. So we're going to move on to like other things. I think climate justice is what they're going for now, which is just, all right, we don't know what the weather's going to do, but support it.
Even Greta has moved on. Greta Thunberg has said, nah, I'm done with the climate change. I'm now doing the flotillas to
I'm going to Gaza.
free Palestine. She has completely abandoned the original premise.
I am sailing to Gaza. I'm sailing off on climate change. But Harrison Ford didn't know. And I think that's the biggest argument about celebrities being political is they're not really in the game on a day-to-day basis. That's what I thought was funny. Did you see Kimmel's wife speak out?
Yes.
And about like the family members that didn't vote for Jimmy.
Yeah, I didn't realize Jimmy was on the ballot. That Jimmy, not you.
I know, fair.
And he just sat there during that interview, by the way, and he's just like, yeah.
It's funny.
I mean, how emasculating was that?
It looks like one of those Bill Belichick interviews.
Yes.
Where Jordan Hudson's like, he's not talking about that. He's like, okay. You know? So I laughed at that because the other thing is like the level of celebrity detachment, which is that, people go to vote and they don't always have the luxury of voting about whether or not it's going to hurt your millionaire husband's feelings,
Right.
That's like a bad metric. I think there's better metrics to vote on. But since we brought up California and climate change, Newsom did go to the climate conference. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. He went to Brazil. He thinks he's already president.
Yeah.
And that's the saddest and sickest part. He is American Psycho.
He is.
Living, breathing. He is American Psycho. Follow that man around. Well, he's got cameras already. He loves a good camera. But that man is American Psycho.
Don't you think that if the Democrats did something, like say it's like halfway through the 2028 primaries, and they realize they're losing the female electorate, or maybe they're losing the black vote, whatever the case may be, and they went down an identity politics lane. If the Democrats did in 28 what they did in 20, do you remember in 2020 when they were like, no, the vice president can only be a black woman? They announced that. Okay. If they announced we could only have a female president in 2028, he would transition. I guarantee you he would.
He will be and do whatever to anybody at any time as long as there is a camera. But I think it is interesting that he is a white male, right? But white males in California, actually, if you identify as a woman, you were at the top of the totem pole. You saw that with Tish in that Gold's Gym, I believe it was. And they're thinking, okay, the black woman, shut up. This white man who's not even a convincing woman, right?
He's not even trying.
Not even threw some lipstick on and a tank top and said, I am a woman and you're threatened by my femininity and my womanly powers, right? And they said, the patriarchy. I side with the patriarchy.
Is it not amazing? He just doesn't like that I'm a woman. Tomi Lahren's in studio, but we're having a chit chat, and that is the truth, that in the grievance hierarchy, black women are no longer in the lead in the Democrat Party.
No.
And no one told Michelle Obama because she shows up like twice a week to just complain.
She is the most entitled, narcissistic, fake victim in American politics, in the history of American politics. Every time we hear her, all she does is bitch about being the first lady.
Yeah. She's like, I had to pay for food.
Yeah, and I had to have a glam team, and it's not a luxury, and it's always just all these things just really put her out. And, to my knowledge, though, the Obamas are still very much running the Democrat Party, and she is here consistently begging us to leave her alone while she's still in the spotlight complaining. It's like, which one do you want?
She is so the Meghan Markle of politics.
She is.
Yep. Princess lifestyle, nothing but grievance. Nothing.
She complains more than anybody that I know, that woman. And she goes on so many podcasts to complain about it. Who goes on more podcasts, Michelle or Gavin?
It's actually pretty close because every week when we're putting our show together, and of course you're hosting the big weekend show on Saturday and Sunday, when I'm putting my show together and I'm pulling like clips that I like, by Tuesday there is always a Michelle Obama. By every Tuesday, I have at least one of her saying like, it ain't right, So I would actually say, that's a good question because she likes to go on the road. Newsom hosts a pod, but she hosts a pod. That's right. She hosts with her brother. I actually think Barack built the ugly library because he wanted to hear someone complain besides Michelle. Like he's fine with it. He just wants to hear a different voice nagging him. Yeah. It's so bad. Do you remember when she gave the speech at the convention? She was talking about how like Trump, she's like, my mother warned us about the dangers of people who take too much money.
Yeah, that was great.
Do you know how much money? Like her private gig fee is like $750,000.
Wow.
I would imagine she could get by with $500,000.
She probably could.
If we're going to talk about what constitutes too much money, with a little couponing, do you think she could take home $475,000 and make it work?
I'd also say, to your point about that presidential library, that big gray monstrosity, how many illegal aliens could we put in there?
Tommy, instead of alligator Alcatraz, what do we call that?
I don't know. I'm sure you'll think of a name soon. Feel free to use that on Saturday night, by the way.
That's funny. It needs something that works off like hope and change. You know what I mean? That would actually work. We're talking to Tomi Lahren. We're trying to find some multi-purpose use for the Obama Library. I mean, it's technically zoned as such because it's on the water in Chicago.
Right.
That was protected land. He built on it. The thing's ugly. Everybody keeps posting Star Wars memes. It does kind of look like one.
It's awful. Yeah.
I think what happened to Obama is obviously the media was like so hard in the tank, they made him bad at this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you need the tough question. I'll give you a good example. The other night, Ingram interviewed Trump. It was actually a hard interview. Like she pressed him on a lot of stuff. And, he kind of just stood his ground. They didn't get in a fight or anything. But that actually makes you think through your answers better. Obama, because they didn't want to get, ostracized for dare critiquing something like the Iranian nuclear deal or everything you need to know about how babied he was is the fact that we've never discussed the cost of Obamacare until this shutdown. Like we have. Fox has. But the country hasn't.
Right. It was a failed endeavor, also given to us by Nancy Pelosi, by the way, who's taken her money bags and running. She's finally decided she's made enough and she is done. But you're exactly right. The most overrated couple in American politics ever, the Obamas.
Like for real.
But they still have a stranglehold on the Democrat Party because everyone else is so bad.
It's a sad state of affairs over there right now.
And you know what? They hate Kamala.
Yeah. No, she's not going to be the nominee.
No, but they didn't want her to be the nominee to begin with.
Yeah.
Barack did not want her. He was mad at Nancy for endorsing her so quickly.
Yeah.
He wanted to anoint somebody. And they do not like Kamala. Remember DNC, the night that the Obamas spoke?
Yeah.
Kamala was out on the road with Tim Walz somewhere.
Yeah. They didn't even hang out with her.
No.
Beyonce didn't show up. Do you remember that? You know what the tell for Kamala was? Is that they were doing Zooms like it was COVID. Yeah. I'm like, these people can't even come out of the house to endorse you.
Right.
You got to make one appearance. They were doing white dudes for Kamala. Do you remember that?
I do. And also, Gavin didn't take her call.
I love that story.
Nobody wanted Kamala. Nobody wanted her.
So give me this, because it's a great point, Tommy. She's not running for governor of California, probably, but honestly, probably because what people do that are big names is they say they're probably going to do this or they're flirting with the idea because it clears the field. And the people go, well, there's not going to be any money if she's running. But no donor jumped in. So you're right to say, I don't know what comes next because she says she's going to run. She's not done. But I don't think, if you look back to the first primary she was a part of, she didn't make the voting.
Yeah.
Do you think she could at least make primary season this time around?
No, she's completely done. Nobody wants her. Nobody wanted her then. They wasted almost $2 billion on her. Nobody is going to take that bet again. I also, to your point about California, I hope they get Katie Porter. I think they deserve it. After all of this, after everything that they have done in California, I think they deserve the mashed potatoes lady.
Well, back to your point about a white male trumping everything else.
Yes.
I'm kidding. Katie
that
Porter.
woman, you know what? You can be, if you are a certain degree of attractive, you can be nasty.
Yeah.
And people will give you a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
you can't be ugly and nasty.
No, it's true.
You can't. And I'm thinking, does anyone have a photo of the ex-husband she dumped mashed potatoes on? Who would sign up for that? Anything about that. Her personality, her outward physicality, the way that she talks. Who would sign up for that?
It's such a great point, Tomi Lahren, because Faye Dunaway, who was probably as good looking as anyone who ever got in front of a camera in Hollywood, was considered like a monster. But she could be, because they're like, at least she's here. I'm in a good mood.
Yeah.
But, you're right to say that if Katie Porter comes in flinging mashed potatoes and screaming at people, nobody wants to be around that.
No, but I think she's still leading in California.
Wow.
Which is why California deserves her. And I hope, and you know what? People do, I used to be that person too that was like, save California. No.
You don't even care.
No. After all the shenanigans they've pulled with giving us Gavin, give them Katie Porter. They deserve her.
That would be amazing. Although I am holding out hope that Steve Hilton pulls it off. Because I there's a thing about me in California, okay? I know he's run it into the ground, but it is a pretty state if you can get outside the politics. You know, it's like that's my biggest problem with California is there were moments in my childhood where like I really romanticized places like San Francisco. Now I have been to them recently and it looks like the end of the Michael Jackson Thriller video where everyone comes up out of the manhole and they're kind of chasing you down the street. But if it's somebody like Katie Porter, I mean, they'd actually be worse than Newsom because they're part of that. Like Newsom is capable of pivoting away from something if he thinks it will help him. You know, like he pretended Latinx was bad, knowing he said it 1,000 times. Last week, I think we were all covering how he said, you know, we got to stop with this toxic masculinity stuff. Are you going to tell me he wasn't saying toxic masculinity for 10 years?
Was.
So, like, if he saw a policy that was destroying his state and was bad for him, he's enough of a sociopath to change it. Katie Porter is, like, so self-righteous, I think she would just kill the state, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think
She definitely would. California is geographically beautiful, but you have to sift under poop and needles to find it. I'm not kidding. I used to say, I'll go to California, I'll go to San Diego, it's beautiful. I've been to San Diego recently. They're destroying that too. Yeah. The homeless are everywhere. You still can't go to the places that I used to go in my early 20s in San Diego. You have to filter underneath everything to find the pretty now. It's not worth it. I know you're going to Fargo, North Dakota soon with Brian Kilmeade. And listen, just make Fargo. We can work with Fargo.
Fargo rocks. Can I tell you a funny thing about Fargo before we run? The movie Fargo did the city dirty because the city of Fargo is not that movie. That's like where Brian Brenberg's from, Western Minnesota. Oh, yeah. You know, there's a little
They do talk like that.
They do. But the actual city of Fargo, I loved. I thought it was great. I'm actually excited to go back. Once you get past the whole Kilmeade thing, I'm kidding. He knows. The great Tomi Lahren, you're going to see it for 6 hours this weekend if you know what's good for you on the big weekend show, Saturday 5 p.m., Sunday 5 p.m. That's exciting stuff.
Jimmy, will you ever do Big Weekend? I know you got your show, but I would love to have you. Listen, I try to keep it fun in the commercial breaks. I like to joke. I like to laugh. I know that you would help me raise the energy.
Let's go. We'll spice it up. We're going to find a Sunday. For real. That's what we'll do. We'll do it on a Sunday because there are all these real weird rules about appearing on each other's shows. But you've done my show. Yeah, I've done your show. Here I am today. Stop it. All right, Jimmy, folks, come see us. You heard it here first. Fargo with Kilmeade, and then I'll be back with Tomi Lahren on the Big Weekend Show.